And in about 18 months, we should be seeing Artemis 2, so we will definitely be preparing for that. The NASA teams are already at work prepping for that. And at the same time, in the same week that the Artemis 1 mission to the moon has returned, the first privately funded lunar lander mission launched on a Falcon 9 for a company called iSpace. So let's talk about that. Now, if successful, it would be the first commercial lunar lander. The only people to have ever landed on the moon at the moment are superpowers. Not even SpaceX themselves has landed on the moon yet, although soon with the Starship, they will attempt to. So let's learn a little bit about iSpace. The company, if you go to their website, iSpace, that's the letter I, space, dash, inc.com. They have a brief explanation here. iSpace is a lunar exploration company with a vision to extend human presence in outer space. Our vision is to expand our living sphere and create a sustainable world. The moon's water resources represent untapped potential. Our aspiration is to explore and develop these water resources and spearhead a space-based economy. Water can be broken down into hydrogen and oxygen to produce fuel, so we are mapping lunar resources to accelerate the pace of space development. Imagine the moon supporting construction, energy, steel procurement, communications, transportation, agriculture, medicine, tourism. We believe that by 2040, the moon will support a population of 1,000 with 10,000 people visiting every year. And if I'm checking correctly, that's in 18 years. iSpace will be instrumental in supporting life on Earth through space-based infrastructure, the company's website says. So their first step at actually launching the lander occurred with the Falcon 9. Now, the Hakuto-R Mission is their first attempt at this lunar lander. And to really oversimplify it, they have launched the orbiter, and their next 3 steps are first to orbit the moon and do so successfully. Again, that's an oversimplification of everything that needs to happen successfully. But if they can do that, the next step is to have a soft landing on the moon. Israel just tried this recently and was unsuccessful in that part of it, in actually landing successfully. Again, the moon, not a very easy trip, especially with how much energy you need to get there in the first place. And the Israeli mission actually went slower than most missions do to offset this. But the soft landing is definitely a critical piece here. And of course, the final step is stability once landed, because a lander is no good if it's able to land, but if it can't do anything afterwards, then what are we doing here? So this first mission, Hakuto-R, is to test all of that out. And there's a great infographic here going through each of the steps. They have 10 levels of success that they're trying to do. And in that stability, that steady state that they're looking for with the system, they're going to establish steady telecommunication and power supply on the lunar surface after landing to support customer payloads, surface operations. And if they are all successful in that, they may have a chance at really making this space-based infrastructure on the moon possible. But in typical moon fashion, it seems, especially in this era of the moon, the Artemis 1 mission had many attempts at the launch that were scrubbed or pushed off for other things happening. There were leaks, there was an engine possibility, having engine issue possibility, there were hurricanes. There was a lot that went, you could say, wrong leading up to the mission. But the mission itself went so right. Now, the Hakuto-R mission is following that same trajectory if you rule that as part of success. The SpaceX team tried to launch this mission multiple times and had to delay. Something wrong with the rocket, windows closing, weather not being successful enough for launch. But one of the great things about being able to launch at such a heavy cadence is that means that if something doesn't go right the first time, you're able to have those second and third attempts very quickly. So it didn't become the months-long saga that, say, the Artemis mission had become with the delays. Now, all that being said, it's very exciting to see an actual moon mission launch aboard a Falcon 9. You know, one of the things that the Falcon 9 was kind of always beat up on online by other space interests, where the Falcon 9 was competition, was that the Falcon 9 is not the biggest performing rocket. There are other rockets that have bigger performance. And in some ways, bigger is not always better, especially when it comes down to the fact that space is at such a place where the cost of missions is super important. Hakuto-R, iSpace, as a company, they were one of 5 winners of the Lunar X Prize. So to think about what the time of winning that X Prize, or being a finalist for the Lunar X Prize, the world was not in a place when that was happening for these launches to happen as quickly as they were. And with a rocket system like the Falcon 9, a reusable platform, the amount of attempts that you get versus the amount of money you actually spend for that mission, for companies and missions trying to happen in today's world, this is a time that hasn't existed ever in space. So this is a cool mission to follow. We will be seeing as this progresses. They actually have some great stuff here on the iSpace website if you want to follow the mission along. So far, they're 2 days and 17 hours into the mission, and there's a lot more to go. So best of luck to the iSpace team, an international team with people all over the planet working together, some folks who I've met online who left to make a career here, and to think that they're now one of the key players for this lunar lander, this first private lunar lander, seems like it was the right move to make. So congrats to the iSpace team. We're definitely interested to see where the Hakuto-R mission goes, and best of luck with a soft landing and stable comms afterwards.